Now, 12 children in the Ashanti region have died over the last 1 month alone through flooding as a result of torrential rains. That's according to the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO. It follows reports of the havoc wreaked by the heavy rains across the country that have seen thousands of displaced persons and destroyed property. More from NADMO shortly, but here is a report from Kumasi.
Hours of rainfall in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, left many people stranded. Passengers had to wait for hours for the floods to recede before they could continue their journeys. Some of them who were tired of waiting had to hang on long trucks and other vehicles to cross the deadly floods. Others who had no option chose to wait.
Within short time, so point to obey 1 hour cross, said the BSC, you know, there's a young grow cry. You catch a buying. And then baby is so and so far more dear Simona or some we sat down in a floor on your side entire bridge way to Mosizongo Bridge, you know. Or Moshano Muyana Mount I won't try by as we start saying no. And then net free President for 4 times. Say, hey, young family. And penny for Croma, what's so down here, pa? Near about cross was a say. Now, soon, Shiamudia, near Jessica, near Mount Mercy, and Shata never did. Yes, you have to give me up, but they don't have to run half hours. You move into I didn't tell us about that.
The airport area often gets flooded when it rains, and motorists have been cautioned to drive with care.
3 hours. I can't swear that. Yama, and Mamma Munidi. A quite idea here, papa. Any panty me, depend me. It's your charges out that would die in Seja. Why, more than 1 hour.
The Ghana Meteorological Agency earlier on Monday morning warned thunderstorms and rains across the country. The middle sector was expected to record thunderstorms and rains with 70% chances in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. Mohammed Nuruddin's reports for JoyNews.
Now, former Deputy Works and Housing Minister Samson Ahi says government must take a huge chunk of the blame for the havoc caused by the floods yesterday. He wants Parliament to summon both the Finance and Works and Housing Ministers to brief them on their preparations going forward following the Meteo Agency's prediction of more rains.
I think what as a country we have been doing is every year we discuss the major gutters in Accra, in Tema. But I know for a fact that the Ministry of Works and Housing has written to the Ministry of Finance for flood control monies to be released to them. But as we speak, not a cedi has been given to the ministry. So the ministry is handicapped as we speak. And so we all know that we have no control over the rains that we have been warned that it will come, because that is nature. But we have control over how to direct the flow of the rains. But government has refused to do the right thing. And that is why we are seeing all this flooding immediately after it rains. And so I think we should blame the government to some extent. The government is blamable.
You mean the finance ministry?
And that's the government.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
talking about the government
but they failed to.
Because they are not helping the Ministry of Works and Housing to do what they are supposed to do. And that's a fact. They have not released their their budget allocation to them. And so they cannot do anything. So the gutters have not been desilted. Our drainage system are choked. That is why we are experiencing what we saw yesterday after the rains.
And you think that the monies will do any better?
I mean, if they have released some monies to Western Housing to undertake the certain measures, at least, even though it may flood, but not to that magnitude. Because, you know, if the gutters are choked and it rains, half of the running water, it will run. And so, in course of the running, when its ways is blocked, it would divert.
Will Parliament consider summoning the finance minister to the House to answer questions on some of the concerns he raised?
Yeah, I think the Western Housing Committee should look at that, and so to also find out from the Western Housing Minister and the Finance Minister the preparations so far towards the pending rains that will have been forewarned.
Thank you, sir.
Well, the Meteorological Agency is predicting more rains in the coming days, and we'll be updating you with the weather report as and when we have it, just so you know. Let us know, how is the rains, or how are the rains affecting you wherever you are? Yesterday we know that the motorway was flooded and people were stranded getting home. What is your story? Share with us on our social media handles and also our WhatsApp line.